Hey everybody, what's going on? Another glorious Monday out there. And God allowed me to wake up on another nice day. But, people, there's another way out of this. See, you guys keep sticking to this two-party paradigm crap that it's done thing, there's only two ways it could come out. You people don't even understand your Constitution. You don't understand your rights. It just, I've got to spell this out for the Republicans on how they could fight this. I have to. I don't even believe in none of this crap. It's a horse and pony show. What do they say? We got 340 million people in this great democracy known as the United States. 340 million people under the illusion that the Constitution still is in play. All right, 340 million people that I guarantee you in the 2016 election, half the people were disgusted. They said the election was rigged. It was bullshit. Hillary should have won it. They fought Trump for 4 years on the whole damn thing. So we know people on the Democratic side of this two-party paradigm believe the election process is nothing. It's worthless. It's rigged. They know it because they cheated like hell in every way they could throughout the process. So they know it's a rigged deal. Now, after this, the 2020 election, I'm sure we're going to have quite a few conservatives. Now, I know there's a lot of them telling Trump to just concede. It's time to concede and forget it. It's over. Let it go. Move on. Whatever. But Trump isn't that kind of a person. He can't. He can't accept failure. But people, I would say out of the 340 million people that we have in this country that actually live here, that I think they're considered citizens if they have the right to vote. I mean, at one time in this country, when the Constitution existed, you had to be a citizen to be able to vote in our country. I don't know if they're letting anybody vote. I mean, hell, the way they handed out shit, I got probably 16, what do they call them damn things you fill out to do your vote with. I had about 16 of them come to my house. That you put your vote on, mail it in. I ripped them all up and threw them away, but I mean, I could have voted 16 damn times. Nobody would have cared. We got 340 million people, okay? Half of that's what? 170. According to our great American democracy, 51% of the people control the other 49%. That's a democracy, people. It always has been. That's just the way it is. What you do if you don't like what's going on, what's 50% of 340 million? That's 170 million. So if you have 171 million people to sign a petition saying that you believe this is a fraudulent election, you believe that it's been rigged, something went wrong, we don't know where, but there's actual fraud going on, which we all know there's fraud. We all know there's fraud going on. Dead people have been voting in American elections since probably the first one. I know for a fact one person this year, I'm not going to say what state they live in, what male or female or anything. All I'm going to say is I know somebody that their family member died recently, and they were going through that family member's property and found a ballot. That's the word I was looking for a little bit ago. That was already had this dead person's name already on it. Everything. All they had to do was fill it out and send it in. Their name was already on it and everything. Well, this ballot got sent in, even though this person had died weeks and weeks ago. The ballot got sent in. And I know who the vote was for. It was for Trump, people. So, if I go by the evidence that I know of, facts that I can prove, the only people I can prove that have cheated in this election is the Republicans. Sorry, but that's the truth. Now, I can assure you there were dead Democrats that voted too. Guarantee it. Now, what that percentage of dead people voting in our elections are, I don't have a clue. But just like Trump said, I guess you could go through and all the people that died of COVID, let's see if they voted this year. See if their names come up on any polls where they went in and voted. But is it going to be a big enough percentage of people that it changed the outcome of the election? That's the thing. You know, if it's only a 1 or 2%, that ain't going to probably be enough to change the election. But if it was 25 or 30%, that could definitely change the election. So it's a corrupted thing, people. The election is a corrupted thing. It's put out there by evil in order to get your consent so that evil can rule over you. And anytime you want to go out there and vote, that's all you're doing is giving them consent. You don't even know what you're giving them consent for, but you line up to do it. So, you know, people, you got to start. I mean, if you got to get a book, find out what critical thinking even is, then I would suggest that. If you don't know what critical thinking and common sense is, people, that's just going to make you an easy target. An easy target. They can lead you around by your bootstraps if they want to and tell you how to do everything. Now, some people don't care if I can prove that space is fake. It doesn't affect their lives. They don't care. But when you believe in a fake space, then you believe you're flying around on a ball of water through that fake space. Then your belief becomes a fallacy belief. It's no longer real. And if you don't even know what reality is, how are you going to deal with it? If you can't look around you and see reality, how are you going to deal with anything spiritual or anything like that? You can't walk around with your heads up your asses all the time, people. Sometimes you got to learn something. Sometimes you got to pick up a book. You got to read something. You got to try to understand something in order to know how to deal with it. You don't just walk up on a man that, let's say he's highly trained all of his life. He's 35 years old. He's been training all of his life to kill people with his bare hands. Well, you don't walk up on this guy without at least having just as much training. If you don't have any training, you don't know even how to fight him. You don't just walk up on him, bust him in the head. He's going to kill you. So if you don't understand what's going on in this world, if you don't understand what the government is, what it's done to you, what it's turned you into, what it's turned this whole country into, if you don't understand that, how do you battle it? How do you fight it in order to change it? People, insanity is to continue to do the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome. That's complete insanity. When has voting ever done anything good for you? Come on, people. The Democrats and the Republicans, they've been going back and forth for generations. They're in for 8 years, the other in for 8 years, or whatever. Most of the time, that's what it does. It's a game. It's the same thing. It's just sometimes they give you a little, next time they take it away. But they have taken all of your rights, all of your God-given rights away from you. And now they sell it back to you. And you guys line up to buy them. You line up to buy them. Seen a guy buying hunting shit. Spent $170 some to have licenses and tags and everything to go hunting and fishing. Hunting and fishing. Who the hell sold them the rights to all that? Who the hell in this country voted for that shit to be legal? If these guys are our representatives, how do these kind of laws get passed? Would you have voted for that? Would you have voted that it's going to cost you, if you want to go hunting or go fishing, that it's going to cost you, if you want 1 pole, it's going to cost this much. If you want 2 poles, it's going to cost this. If you want to use 3 poles, it's going to cost this much. If you want to catch a perch, it's going to cost you this much. If you want to catch a, whatever all these different fish are, you got to buy a tag for whatever they call. I don't pay none of that shit, people. I don't even know what it's all about anymore, but I hear you have to pay for, if you want more than 1 pole, you got to pay for what kind of bait you're fucking going to use or some shit. I don't even know. Who gave them that power? I didn't. Did you? If you didn't, these people are supposed to be representing us. Who the hell voted for this kind of shit to be brought in on us? Nobody. Who voted? Who did they ask? We the people are supposed to be in control. They're our representatives. Who did they ask when they set this 16th Amendment into place? Who were they representing when they set the 16th Amendment into place that stated you will never, as a citizen, own any land in this country ever again because the government owns that land? You can use it as long as you pay the taxes on it. Who? Did you vote for that? I didn't tell them to vote that way. You did. I'm betting you didn't tell them to vote that way. But that's the damn sure way that vote went in. Now, why would we do that to ourselves? Why would we see to it that we have we cannot own land outright in this country because we always wanted to have to pay the government for anything we own? We always wanted to have to pay them a tax for it. We don't feel like we should ever be able to own any land. We're not worthy. When would we have done this, people? These laws ain't made by we, the people. These laws are made by a freaking corrupted government that thinks they're the masters. And then I'm not talking about the American government or Russian government or any other country's government. I'm talking about the damn World Banks, the Zionist Jews that own all this stuff, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Chase Bank, Chase Bank, J.P. Morgan banks. Those guys, those are the elitists. They are the government already of the world. But they want everybody to know it. Most people still think our Washington, D.C. controls our country. The people that control the things, everything, people, you don't vote on them. You vote on the puppets that they show you that you can vote for. That's it. That's your freedoms. That's your rights. You get to choose from whatever they put in front of you. Here, you want this rancid hunk of meat? Or would you rather have this pile of horse crap sitting over here? It's up to you. It's whatever your dinner, whichever one you choose is your dinner. That's basically what they're doing to you people, and you don't even care. Well, to get back to what I was saying, if we got 340 million people, half of that's 170 million. You take 170 million and one, you got 51%. You can demand a convention of states, according to the Constitution, and demand a vote through a convention of states. If nothing else, use your 170 million and one, what do they call that? You know what I'm talking about. See, I lose my thought, people. Use that 170 million and one people to sign a petition. That's the word I was looking for. And use it in your government as a democracy. That's what they claim. That's what a democracy is. Walk it into your government offices and stick it right on the table and say, here you go. 51% of the people in this country do not like what has happened with our election process, and we demand something different. There's two ways you could go at this. Or the third way, you just take that 170 million and one and march your asses onto these government properties, pick those people up, drag them out to the road by their hair, dump some hot tar on them, feather their asses, and send their asses walking down the street like they used to do to these people. Them people in Washington, D.C., they deserve nothing better than to be dragged out and hung by the nearest trees for the treasonous acts that they have done. You guys don't understand this. They stole there isn't no gold in Fort Knox, people. The only gold in this country isn't ours. So, they stole it all. Do you guys not? I don't know. I must live in a different world. I must live in a complete different world than anybody else. Because this stuff isn't even hidden. You can find all this information out. You just got to look for it. Well, people, I've went on long enough. You guys have a good day out there, and may God bless us all. It at least looks like it's going to be a good day. All right.